Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you a whole array of boxes. Aren't they lovely? So I'm sort of stuck with what to call these. I've written down open top thank you goodie bag, but I think that's a far too long a title. So it will possibly just be open top goodie bag and miss out the thank you. I have recently, for several reasons, decided to stop doing my crafting classes. Sadly I wasn't getting the numbers attending that I wanted, and it just wasn't worth my while, so I thought, well, I'll just be able to spend more time on my videos and my card kits and things like that. So these actually are a selection of the gifts that I will be giving my ladies that have been attending. I'm not going to show you what's in them because they won't actually receive these till the end of the month, so I don't want to spoil the surprise for them in case they do watch them. But yeah, they're a good size. They've obviously got a bit of tissue paper in the top there so that you can't see, but as you can see I've used several colourways. So we have Mango Melody, Petal Pink, Melon Mambo. I keep getting Mango Melody and Melon Mambo mixed up for some reason. This one is Cajun Craze, and this one is Powder Pink, and the one I'm going to make with you today is So Saffron. So to start off with, you are going to need a piece of cardstock that is 12 by 7.5 inches, and in centimetres, just getting my styles, in centimetres that is 30.5 by 19 centimetres. So on the short side we're going to score at 1.5 inches, and that's just 4 centimetres. And then on the long side we're going to score at, I can hear the dustbin men coming past now, 4 1/4, 5 3/4, 10 and 11.5 inches. And in centimetres that's 11, 14.5, 25.5 and 29. I'm sure I said that 1.5 inches was 4 centimetres. Don't know if I said that one. So pop that out of the way. So I'm just going to fold and burnish these score lines. Lovely simple gift bag stroke box. Very simple to do. So we're simply going to cut away this very, very small bit here, and I do apologise for these bin men coming past. Always the same, isn't it? And then we're going to cut up just these bottom bits here. Okay, and then before we do anything else, oops, we want to adhere our DSP. So I'm using the lovely Garden Impressions DSP, which is on our buy 3 get the 4th one free offer that's on at the moment. There are only selected DSP available, but this is one of them and I love it, hence the reason why I'm using a ton of it, because I just love it. So we're just going to stick these on. So the larger pieces that are going to go on what I class as the front and the back are 5 3/4 by 4. I'll stick them on while the noise is going past. Oh, it wasn't actually that bad. I thought they might have been a lot louder. So yeah, so these are 5 3/4 by 4 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. And now my scales run out. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? 2 seconds while I just grab another one. Goodness me. Okay, so 10 by 14 centimetres, 5 3/4 by 4 inches, and that just leaves that little gap just around them. And then your 2 side pieces here are 5 3/4 by 1 1/4 inch, which in centimetres is 14 by 3. So just stick that one on there, and this one. And the good news as well is that I'm actually on my very last fuse refill. So yes, this is actually going to be going in the bin very soon, thank goodness. So piece of adhesive just down that strip there, and then I'm just going to fold it over and adhere that there. Now I'm actually going to leave it at that stage because I want to be able to stick my pattern on the front in a moment, so I'm actually going to put that to one side just for a moment. So I want to make up my pattern. I'm just going to grab the closest one. So as you can see here, I've used the layered layering squares to make my little frame, my springtime impressions to do my little flower, and then abstract impressions to stamp my lovely flowers. So in are my bits of cardstock. So I have Whisper White. Now if memory serves me correctly, this is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, so just a fraction under 3 inches, which is, oh, my dog's digging on the bed underneath now. Let me just double check with my ruler. So you're looking at around 7.5 centimetres squared. Bailey, goodness me, this dog. So I've got my layering squares here, which I'm going to cut the largest one out first. So I'm just going to bring in my big shot and get this bit of die cutting done. I do apologise for the state of it. I've been doing die cutting again for my kits today, and hence they were getting trashed. Can you hear this dog? Digging at the bed underneath my table. They say never work with, what is it, children and animals? Yeah, I get that completely now. So, pop that out. I don't know what she's doing, honestly. Pop that out, and then wherever I put it, I want my straight one here that is going to sit on there, but I'm a little bit crafty. Now you don't have to do this. If you want to reserve that square for something else, then feel free. But this is the part where I actually do my double die cutting, and I just pop my flower in the middle, so it cuts that out at the same time. It just saves me going through the big shot twice, but obviously if you want to retain this nicely cut square for something else, then just use a scrap for your flower. So I've just sort of eyeballed that that's fairly straight all around the edges. And this again will just be trial and error with your layered squares to sort of decide which size suits best. Just pull all that off there and pop that down, this out of the way. You'd have thought it'd be too hot for dogs to be messing about, faffing about, wouldn't you? But no. Okay, so there's my lovely frame. Here is, oh heck, I hope that cut. Yes, it did. Oh, crumbs. Didn't think it was going to come out then. So there is my lovely flower. Pop that out of the way and that out of the way. Just going to use my stylus just to poke the bits out. Now, I have been using my fabulous die brush and mat, which is excellent for these sorts of things, and especially if you're going to do the butterfly out of here, as you may have seen in my previous videos. Those are in my kits, and it's fabulous. I'll just grab it here, because you literally just, honestly, it's worth its weight in gold. Once you've die cut your butterfly, just pop it on here and roll this all over, and the pieces just pop out. It's just so much quicker. Obviously for something like this, you can, I mean, I was using it for the flowers too, but it is a lot quicker. Just pop that out of the way. So there's my flower and my frame. So back in with my Whisper White, and I want to do my stamped image. So stamp set would be helpful, which I didn't get out. Okay, so abstract impressions. So I love this already, look. So I want thank you to start off with. That's going to go on the bottom, and I'm just, apologise if my head gets in this, I'm just lining my block up with one of the lines on the grid paper, and then I line pretty much the bottom of the Hank and O and U, because that is fairly straight, and I just line that up with a grid line underneath, and then turn it over and again place it on your grid, and you can see that that's straight. So I'm going to use my Memento, which I recently re-inked, to do my thank you, which is going to go about there, so obviously quite low to the bottom. So let's get that out of the way. Give that a clean. And then I've got my gorgeous Granny Apple Green, which again is another one of my absolute favourites. I love this. So we have two sort of grasses, if you like, a thicker one and a slightly thinner one. So I'm going to stamp the thicker one first. I seem to have all the hairs off my Stamp and Scrub all over this for some reason. So the thicker one is going on first, and I sort of try and get this. You do occasionally get a little, I don't know if you can see there, just a slight mark. I'm not overly concerned because the lighter one will cover that. So yeah, so I'll give that one a wipe. My other dog's in the window, hence the shadow. She's just decided to move. And then the smaller one, I actually stamp off and then angle just over the top. And so, as you can see, I'll just hold this up, put this away so I don't dink my elbow in it. So as you can see where that little mark was now, I've actually blended it into the lighter one so it doesn't stand out as much. And I try and get these bits of grass here as well, sort of as close as to in the middle of the K and the Y, just to give it that bit of space at the bottom. So that's that bit done. So the next bit is the flowers. So you have two of these as well. They do have arrows on the cellophane just there to show you which way, but it basically is a lowercase n that way, if you like. It's the way I think of it anyway. So I've got my So Saffron to keep in with all my card and everything, and this gets stamped off first and then popped on there. Clean that off, and then my second one is the bits, if you like, and again it's exactly the same as that sort of lowercase n, but I don't stamp this one off, and then I just line it up, excuse my head, with the flowers, and it just gives them that little extra bit of colour. So pop that out of the way. So obviously now we need to adhere these. So my frame just sits, she says. Oh no, maybe it doesn't sit. Okay, I need to trim this slightly. Just make sure it does fit before you adhere it. So this should have been, oh no, it's not quite 2 7/8, that's why. Get that out of the way. Just give this a little trim. Take it off the bottom bit, I think, yes. That's me for my measuring. So this should fit perfectly now with my frame around it, yes. And so you don't actually get any of the white showing, and I just think that looks really pretty. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick this piece on. This is why I kept my box flat at this stage. So I'm just going to stick this on, and I kind of put my box straight so that I know it's central and in the right place. That looks pretty good to me. And then obviously, because it's now a flat box, you can add a bit of pressure there just to push that on. And for my frame, you could use either or, anything that you wanted to. I'm going to use some Tombow just because I do like using this. And I literally just put, and this is where it doesn't come out for 20 minutes, I literally just put a really thin, come on, oh, and now my stomach's rumbling too, a very thin line of glue all the way around the frame here, just like that. And then this obviously then sits on top of your stamped bit. And the good thing about the Tombow is that you've got a little bit of room to just slide it around if you need to. And then when you're happy, just make sure it sticks, or it's stuck in the right places. And then I'm actually going to add my flower while I'm here. So my flower and a large rhinestone and a glue dot. So I actually popped a glue dot just on the centre here, which just holds the flower in place, and then popped it on the corner with a rhinestone just over the top of that centerpiece. And then all you need to do then is fold the bottom. Oh, I know what I nearly forgot, just while my box is upright, wherever they are. Oh, they're here in front of me. I just need to stamp my bits on the bottom before I seal it up. I just need to pop these on, and these are part of the angel policy, and if that's something you're not sure of, either ask your demonstrator or have a look on the internet. So pop the sides in, the back, and then the front is last, and just with some good old adhesive, fuse, tear and tape, or Tombow, whichever, make sure your bottom's straight and pop that in. And just so that you can see what it looks like, I'm going to pop that in the top, and that is my box made. Now, like I said, this DSP, as you know, this video is also part of a blog hop. So there are links to my lovely fellow demonstrators at the bottom, who will have also made some beautiful projects with the DSP that is in the offer. And like I said, this is the DSP that is in the offer that I've used. I have actually also, if I can just grab them, made coordinating thank you cards as well. So they're all there in the right colours too. So yes, hopefully they will like them and appreciate them. And I hope you love this DSP and you want to go and get some. The links for everything that I've used is on my blog. The link for my blog is below, and don't forget to hop across all of my other fellow demonstrators and have a look what they have made, because there'll be some amazing projects. I hope you like it, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye!